forgot to unmute. Hello, good evening. How are you guys doing? Welcome, welcome. I forgot to turn on the rain as well. We're doing the background gotcha today. I'm realizing I moved my mic over in front of me, but I'm not using this mic today. So now it's just awkwardly in my face. Let me push it back. There we go. I hope this doesn't sound bad. I could actually see. Hang on, let me see what it sounds like. You probably hear everything. Hello? Okay. The bad news about this is that if my cats decide to go wild tonight, you will hear everything. Absolutely everything. Yup, it's disabled. I disabled everything, I think. At least I hope so. If not, then we may become deaf later, but at least we'll become deaf later together, right? Hello, Balthazar, and Lextus, and Alpha, and Hekevbo, and Asterix. Yup, my wildcats. And I'm just kidding, Lextus. I mean, Lotus. I'm just teasing you. High School Musical. Oh boy. And how would I don't remember. I think I watched High School Musical, but I watched it a lot later than everybody else, I remember. I've also got to remember, like, if I pick up anything or if I put anything down, I have to mute myself, otherwise it'll probably be really loud. Because we are doing ASMR, but I don't have a 3D. Oh. Okay, gotta mute that. Oh no. Thank you for the follow. Give me 1 sec. Nibbles your thug shaker. Thank you for the follow. And we're limit testing. Okay, let me see if there's anything else I should mute real quick. Maybe my stream deck. Maybe my sound alerts, just in case. Just in case. You never know, right? Okay, I think we should be good with this. I'm also realizing I never swapped it back to system, so I was playing music, but you guys probably didn't hear anything. Whoops. Is my voice okay? Yes, my voice is okay. Do you want me to talk? You want me to talk normally? Huh? You want me to talk normally? It's gonna be too loud then. Okay, no worries, Lotus. That's okay. It's also really late for you, so I understand. Does my voice sound messed up? Do I have a filter applied or something? I think it's okay, right? I hope it's okay. Is it okay? Okay, yeah, we're fine. We're fine. How are you guys doing today? I actually went to a rooftop bar before the stream. It was kind of nice. You could see the Capitol building from it. So, took some pictures and stuff like that. Well, took like a picture. Oh, thank you for the gift sub. Nibbles your thug shaker. Thank you. Thank God I turned off the alert this time. Yeah, how you guys doing? You guys having a good Friday? Today's Friday. Yes. It was a long day. I had a presentation today, so at least the client liked it, but my God, was it a hectic scramble because the system that holds all of our files in the entire office was down for about 3.5 hours for the first half of the workday. It's gone. It's Saturday, maybe for you. For me, it's only Friday. Pretty good. 3 work days until vacation. Ooh, that sounds nice. Are you doing anything or just relaxing? I'm gonna be having a Christmas party, I think, on the 23rd this year. Yeah. And I'm going to a cookie party exchange tomorrow. You're traveling? Oh, that's fun. Visit family, or is it just to just for leisure, I guess? Yeah. Hopefully it's not too loud in the background. You guys probably heard that. Taking 2 weeks to visit friends and family. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, that's nice. I just have some friends coming over on the 23rd. We're gonna be making a lasagna. It will not be salty this time. And will be oh yeah, we have a honey baked ham on order. It was Nibbles your thug shaker. You could say thank you. I see. It was too early. They were too fast. Have you guys heard that song? Too fast, too fast. There you go. Yeah, it's a good thing to fall asleep to. Do you guys ever listen to ASMR? I personally do. I listen to it a lot when I work, because it actually helps me when I really need to focus. So, hi Chrono. Ah, you're driving. I hope you're going somewhere fun or to eat some good food. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, today we're gonna be playing with ASMR. I've got a couple of fun things to play with. I feel like I should dive in and try one of them, right? Mm-hmm. There's a couple channels on YouTube that you follow. I'm probably not as good as them. I'm a beginner. The B movie one? Oh god, we don't talk about the B movie one. You will also notice you cannot redeem the B today. Hi, Mrs. Welcome in. Hello. Yeah, no bees today. I turned off the bees. I thought the buzzing might be too loud. Since we're not doing a meme ASMR. However, doing an inside your walls ASMR does sound interesting. I'll have to look at what that would entail to continue our meme ASMR streak. But today is a serious one. I have things to play with. So, what do I have here? I have a like fuzzy pop filter, and I have just a regular foam pop filter, and I have some little plastic cups. And I've got water globes. It should be fun. What else do I have? I need to remember when I'm putting these things down to be very, very gentle. I have little crinklies that hopefully Aegon does not hear and come running for. And I have a couple of like brushes and some wooden thumbtacks, which I think should be interesting. Hi, Honor RPG. Welcome in. And thank you for the follow, Savvy Talks. Welcome. So yeah, I think it'll be fun to just play around a little bit. Oh, and I also have. Here, let me use these, and then let's see. Yeah, maybe I need a padded surface. True. But I also have these. Anybody want to guess what these are? No, they're sponges. I like these sponges that I found, but they're like kind of crinkly on the outside. Yeah, they're sponges. Anyways. Oh, and I also have this. Thank you for the follow, 3 cent. Welcome in. Hi, Andrew. Welcome. If you could finally sleep with this ASMR, maybe. Not necessarily scrub daddies, no. Actually, no, if they were from the 99-cent store, they're probably like scuff daddies, if anything. Yeah, and then I also have these, which are what are these? I don't even remember what I put in here. It's like a velvet bag. Oh, they're kind of like oh, I remember. They're like little plastic gems. Yeah, I need to get some wooden stuff. Oh, there's another thing I have. Here, let me show you what this one is. Where did it go? It's here somewhere. I have some pop rocks too. I don't know where it went. Oh god, I just dropped something. Hang on. ASMR might be so good that even my model goes to sleep sometimes. I'm just kidding. Where is it? It's a very, very interesting trigger. I don't think any of you would know what it was. I may have lied and lost my very, very interesting trigger. Hi V, welcome, welcome, and hello Eric. How you guys doing? I thought I had it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Let me go see if I could scrounge up another. I will be right back. Thank you for the follow, George Senpai. Welcome, welcome. Are you tired? Finished playing some Lethal Company. Oh, nice. I hope you had fun. Bad news. I never ordered takeout, so I actually could not find another, but I got 2 other things I could try instead. I wonder where it went. Alright, let me see how these sound. Similar, but not quite. And not quite the same. Close, but not quite. I could probably use the first one. Wait, I totally forgot to mute that. Whoops. I forgot to mute opening my drawer. I don't know where it went. It was a plastic spoon. So a plastic spoon on a Blue Yeti mic is a very interesting sound. It sounds a little bit like this one. But it's a little bit more clear. But I don't order takeout. I'd actually stolen that plastic spoon from work. Yeah. Hey. Bubbly? Yeah, I know, right? Anyways, I guess I should go ahead and let's just start with like a basic one. I think that sounds good. Let me put this on really quick. All right, let's try this one. I have fuzz all over my hands right now. Thank you for the follow, Dan. Okay. Whoops. I found out my cheat. Hey, I found out you could do an echo with your GoXLR, and it really helps for some of the sounds to make it sound a little more, I don't know, 3D, in my opinion. Especially since I'm only working with a Yeti here. Yeah, because I have fuzz all over my hands now. That's what I get for buying a cheap pop filter. Okay, let's see. What do I want to try next? Oh, we could do this one. We'll do this one. Wake up. Attack the cat. The cat. The cats are crazy. I don't think you guys heard, but you heard a little bit of Aegon. He's running around drilling right now. But Khaleesi just hissed at him. Like, can't you guys calm down and just, relax? Be normal for once? Never with my cats, right? Never. Oh, oops. Okay. Hello, Barbara. Welcome in. Welcome. Oh, hey, it's good if you're falling asleep, right, Alpha? That's a good thing. At least that's what it's supposed to do. We got little cat squeaks in the background on occasion as well. Hopefully we just don't get cat chaos absolutely running around being little wild children that they are. I'm realizing I can actually have my OBS in front of me, which would make things so much easier. So I'm not constantly swapping over to my GoXLR app to turn off my monitoring. Oops. Okay, this one is a little bit different. Still using the gloves, but I kind of like this one too. I was doing. It, it congealed all the glitter, like all the glitter in the handle, so the water got stuck. It wouldn't move. It's just kind of funny. Mm. Okay, I think we're gonna try something else now. Could do. Oh, let's do this. thank you for the follow, Immortal Runes, and welcome in, Combat Monkey. Yeah, today we're doing ASMR. Lots and lots of fun with ASMR, playing around with different triggers. So, not gonna lie, my mouth is a little dry after that one, so maybe we will do some pop rocks. I don't know if this will sound good. Hang on one sec. Oh, that just sounds silly. Okay, hang on one sec. Let me open them up. Oh boy, this is like a big old chunk of pop rocks. It's stuck together. I don't know why. Hopefully they still work. I think the pop rocks are almost at the end of their popping cycle. So I'm just gonna eat them. Oh my god, they're still popping in my mouth. Thank you for the follow, Marl G2. Welcome in, welcome in. Well, you know what? I should give some of you people a new salute. Hang on. For all the new Reicruits, welcome in. Alright. Let's see, what should we do next? I could eat more pop rocks. Nah. Okay, nah. Alright, no, let's do something crinkly. Ready for some crinkles? Crinkles, maybe some tingles. I wonder if this one sounds better actually without the echo. Give that a try first. I kind of want to try this one when the pop filter's on instead. Hi, Sodley. Welcome, welcome. Did you get caught up baking some more food? Just kidding. Alright, what about this one? Problem with doing a live ASMR versus recorded is if you accidentally scratch the mic, you can't get rid of it in post-production. Anyways, thank you for the follow, the K Gary and Fadeless. Welcome, welcome. And Omachi, hi, how you doing? Let me give you a little shout out, Fadeless. Yeah, one sec. I guess this could be ASMR too, right? Typing? Typing? That's something people do. The wine you had awakened something in you. I really want to hit the Among Us soundboard sound, but that wouldn't be appropriate right now. What'd you have for dinner tonight, Omachi? Take a small break. My hands may be cramping slightly, so it wouldn't be the worst idea. Oh, what? Do what? Typing? Should I do some typing? I could try, but I have a quiet keyboard. I wonder what I did with my other one. Oh, the Among Us sound effects? No, it would be way too loud. There could be one person sleeping here. Maybe, if I did a really good job. I'm not going to hit the Among Us soundboard right now. Here, you know what I will do though? I will impersonate it for you. Wow. Bum, 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 bum. It sounds nothing like that. Oh my god. Oh no. How's it going? I think some things have worked out better than others. It's doing okay though. I have to do it again. Okay, fine. Here you go. Wow. Bum 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 bum. Probably sounded so stupid. Oh god. Yeah. I think my personal favorite is the water globes. I really like the water globes. Here, I'll show you guys since some of you weren't here. Welcome in, Andrew. Welcome. High quality. I think of it more as like questionable quality if I'm being honest, but I'm making an attempt. Alright, let me see. Well, there's one kind of interesting one I want to do for you guys. Okay. Actually, maybe I'll save it for a little later. Maybe I could do this one right now. Alright, let me do this one. It doesn't sound as good as the plastic spoon would have. I wish I had my plastic spoon. Ah, thank you. I'm trying. Is that my cat purring into the mic? No. My cat were purring. Oh, Khaleesi's over there. I don't know if I could get her to purr. I could try, but I don't think it would go well. I could always go and steal Aegon though. Aegon's easy to make purr. I don't know if you guys would be able to hear it. Just a cat petting ASMR. Hello, Inari. Welcome, and thank you for the bit. I wonder if I could steal Aegon. Aegon, get over here. But then Khaleesi might get jealous that I'm not calling for her. Let me see if he's in my room. He is not in my room right now. I think he's hanging out somewhere else. Alright, let's do this one. Wait, let me try this. Let me try this with the echo. Thank you for the resub, Mookie. Thank you, thank you. It's like there's fuzz on my mic, and there's fuzz on my nose, and there's fuzz on my clothes, and there's fuzz on my hands. There's so much fuzz. Oh god. Like, even my cats have fuzz, but they usually do, so. Alright. Let me see. What does this one sound like? Not gonna lie, my back hurts a little bit. I feel like I have to hold myself awkwardly for this. Okay. What does this sound like with echo? Hmm. A little worried I might have hit my volume knob. One sec. Alright, now we're good. We're good. Okay. I think it accidentally came unplugged. We're good. I fixed the problem. Not today. Or maybe I could leave it on, but I'd have to make sure I didn't leave on the the sound for it. Thank you for the follow, Lucas. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you, Immortal. It's kind of you. Thank you. Alright, now the question is, what should I do next? I could do the gems, maybe? Let's try the gems. Okay. It came unplugged again. I need to get a new wire for this thing. The sound was so good it broke my mic. Not quite, but you know, close enough. lost a gem. Man down, man down. Hang on one sec. Oh god, we gotta rescue him, boys. Okay, we're good. Not gonna lie, guys. We did lose another man in the middle of that. I believe he may have fallen behind my desk and he cannot get back up. Alright. Do. I have. Let's see what else I know, right? No! I'll never be rescued. I could try the bully one again. Actually, no, maybe not yet. I'm gonna save that so that I could do some pops with it too. And my mouth is a little less dry. Okay, let's go ahead and do this one next. When I picked this guy up, I listened to him in the store and I was like, oh, this one's perfect. I need this one. They are wooden thumbtacks. I'm going to do something fun with them. wait, this is a thing people do too, right? Okay. Lid opening ASMR. Okay. Go ahead. I'm glad hopefully my ASMR helped make you at least a little more sleepy. Good night, Alpha. Almost done. Okay, it's ready. Ready? Need to make a slight adjustment. Hang on. Oh, and thank you for the follow, Keys. Welcome in, welcome in. Alright, that's a little better. My back hurts so bad, and I don't know why. Okay. Okay. Hello, Dumai. Welcome in, welcome in. How are you doing today? I should get my cat and just do a cat petting ASMR. Let's see, let's see. Okay. Hopefully the mic is still working. There we go, sorry. I think I bumped the power cord on it again. For some reason the power cord is crusty, and I don't think a mic cord is supposed to be crusty. Hi Glenn, welcome in. Welcome, welcome. Alright, let's do this one. I might sit back while I do this, because my back be killing me. I really want to know where my spoon is. The spoon sounds so much cooler. Give me 2 seconds again to see if I can't find my spoon. Excuse me, do I? Guys, I have good news. I found the spoon. Okay, this is so much better. Okay, listen. What is it like with echo? have an update. Aegon has arrived, which means maybe. I don't know if it'll pick anything up, but we could try to do some cat petting ASMR. I'm gonna give it a try. And hi, Cody. How are you? Good evening. All right, let me grab him. Let me snatch him. He is looking extremely playful. I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if he's gonna let me grab him. anyways. Yeah, I'm doing great. Okay, let me snatch him against his will real quick. Alright, I have obtained the cat. Hang on. You can't hear anything. Let's Aegon sniff us. Oh god. Oh god. Hello. Trying to see if I can get him purring. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. That was a failure. He attacked the mic. He did not want to cooperate. I got to pet him for a minute. And then he was like, nah, I'm out of here, but first let me sniff the mic. What? Hi, cutie. What? Here, I'll give you pets. He is feeling too playful right now. Now I have cat fur in addition to the pop filter fuzz. Right, I've readjusted. And there he goes. Oh, extra filtering? Yeah, I've got extra filtering right on my eyeballs. It's great. Alright. I think I'm almost out of triggers. I have some brushes left. We could try those. Aegon is currently trying to wreak havoc behind me. We'll see how long until he goes truly wild. Thank you for the follow, Perrin. Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome to the Reicruits. Okay. Let's see. I feel like I have cat hair in my eye now. Ugh. Aegon has too much fur, man. Everybody wants Aegon, but nobody knows what it's like to live with Aegon. He is currently attacking my slipper for no reason. Quite viciously, I might add. That's you. Oh my god, this boy. This boy. What are you doing? Alright, he's sad. Okay, let me try this. Okay. Actually, hang on. Let me add something else too. Okay. Oops. Okay. These are marshmallows, not tofu. And no, you may not have it. This is mine. This is my hot chocolate. I am not sharing. Alright. Let's see. What else do I have? I'm running out of ASMR stuff. You know what? I said I was gonna come back to the crinklies when I had the pop filter on. So alright. I have some news for you, Goaty. You might be a cat if you like the crinkles, because this is literally a cat toy. These are Mylar crinkle balls for cats. Yeah. 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 Hang on, I kind of want to do something a little bit silly. You've met with it. Oh wait, hang on. I speech jam myself. Hang on. Let me try that again. You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you? Okay, sorry. Enough evil mode, I'm sorry. Kind of want to read some creepy pastas, I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm out of triggers. Do I? You want me to read a couple? I could read a couple. Alright, let me look one up. What if we just had an evil giggle ASMR? I'm sorry. You know what I should do? I should try to do some typing, right? Shadow the Hedgehog. I'm not Shadow the Hedgehog. What the heck? Hang on. What did you call me? Call me Shadow the Hedgehog? Excuse me? There's no Sonic allowed on this ASMR stream. Anyways. Alright, let me look up another one. Thank you for the follow, Cosmic Kawaii. Welcome in, and welcome to the Reicruits. Let me give you a salute. think I turned my tail off. Oops. Hang on. I can fix this. I can fix this. Oh my god, where's my other tail? Hold up. Oh god, I had 3 hands. That is not what I meant to do. Oh god. Oh god. Guys. Not chili dogs? No chili dogs either. Guys, I can't find my other tail. Oh, there's my tail. We're back to normal. Actually, hang on. Okay, sorry. I had to do that. Sorry. Just having some fun. You know how it is. Okay, so if we want to do some creepy pastas, hang on. Actually, I guess people like the sound of typing. Okay, hang on. Let me. We're having a pleasant time until you brought Sonic up. Okay, I'll just type stuff. Hang on. No, Sonic. No. Refuse. Okay. guys like to hear the story that I just wrote? I wrote it just for you guys. Come on. I know you guys want to hear it, right? Okay. Here we go. I'll read you my crazy story. There once was a cat named Henry. He was known as the fluffiest cat in the entire world. One day, he came across a lady cat. Her name was Timbuktu. All of a sudden, he was no longer the fluffiest cat in town, and this was a problem. This was a problem because his reputation as the fluffiest cat in town came with exclusive, and I mean exclusive, discounts. Everybody was so enamored with his fluffy tail that they would give him free stuff everywhere he went. Here, there, everywhere. It was honestly kind of ridiculous. So he was in trouble when Timbuktu came to town. No longer would he receive his discounts. As such, there was only one option. He had to secure the discounts associated with being the fluffiest cat in town by securing Timbuktu's hand in marriage. The only problem is that the lady cat was already engaged. So what is a cool cat to do? He had to murder her fiancé. He needed a way to murder her fiancé without getting caught. So what did he do? He decided that he should watch a bunch of true crime. If he was going to commit murder, he needed to get away with it. It needed to be the perfect crime. And thus, he began to exclusively listen to true crime podcasts. He fell out of touch with his friends, his family, his jujitsu teammates, everybody. He even stopped going to work. He needed to know how to get his exclusive discounts back. After several months of listening to nothing but stories of cold-blooded cat murder, he had finally hatched the perfect plan. Perfect plan. He was going to execute it tonight. He followed through with his plan and murdered Timbuktu's fiancée. When she was mourning, he decided to hook up with her a la Wedding Crasher style. Nothing is better than a lady with tears in her eyes as she mourns her dead fiancé, right? Well, at least he couldn't come up with a better way to get his discounts back. Anyway, he hooks up. Eventually he gets her number. They go on a couple of dates. And all of a sudden they're dating. They eventually get married. And through the marriage, Henry is able to use his wife's status as the fluffiest tail in town to get back his feet pick discounts on only cats. And it was happily ever after. Except it wasn't actually. Come on, Henry, get a life. The end. Did you guys like my story? I am so sorry that I read that to you. Alright, let me let me look up some creepypastas. Hang on. Aegon is sniffing again, guys. Sniffing. Alright, I think I found some to read. Hi, Iconic Spoon. Welcome in. Okay. Yeah, I hope you guys like my story. Alright, let's go. Okay. The Backrooms. The Backrooms is a short passage originally posted to 4chan's export on 2019 as a caption to a photograph of a hallway with yellow carpets and wallpaper. story purports that no clipping out of bounds in real life, one may enter a realm known as the Backrooms, an empty wasteland of corridors and rooms with nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum humbug, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in, as well as malevolent entities that hunt the traveler across 3 separate areas of the backrooms, levels 0 through 2. Over time, Backrooms has been successfully expanded into a mythos. Guys, I'm realizing this isn't the story. Hang on. Okay, hang on. Yeah, this is not the story. Let me look up the actual stories. What like creepypasta stories I can read? Oh, here we go. This is one. Like creepypasta stories. This is not what I was looking for. Well, this is just called creepypasta.com. Oh wait, here we go. Top ring. Oh, here we go. Famous creepypastas. Okay. Here we go. Wait, this takes a half hour. Oh my god, hang on. Let me pick a different one. Oh my god, that one's like an hour. I already read Ben Drowned. What about this one? Oh, here you go. This is better. Okay. It comes most often at night. That niggling memory, gnawing in some corner of your mind like a rodent chewing the corners of the drywall. A memory of some brightly lit cartoon funland or a world of puppets. A memory of a TV show you would watch, seated cross-legged on the living room floor, with the fixed, enthusiastic attention only a child can give. Attention that you wish now, perhaps hadn't given so freely. For there's something about that show, something about the discordant music, the details of the characters, their motivations, and the storylines, the fixed maniacal grins that seem, looking back, be altogether too sinister to be a children's show. Try to block the memory out, and yet, there in the back of your mind, most often at night, the puppet's fixed grin keeps on smiling. I see. Oh, here we go. Candle Cove Locals Kids Show. Does anyone remember this kids show? It's called Candle Cove, and I must have been 6 or 7. I never found reference to it anywhere, so I think it was on a local station around 1971 or 1972. I lived in Ironton at the time. I don't remember which station, but I do remember it was on at a weird time, like 4 p.m. It seems really familiar to me. I grew up outside of Ashland and was 9 years old in 72. Candle Cove, was it about pirates? I remember a pirate marionette at the mouth of a cave talking to a little girl. Yes, okay, I'm not crazy. I remember Pirate Percy. I was always kind of scared of him. He looked like he was built from parts of other dolls. Real low budget. His head was an old porcelain baby doll. It looked like an antique that didn't belong on the body. I don't remember what station this was. I don't think it was WTSF though. Sorry to resurrect this old thread, but I know exactly what you mean, Skyshale. I think Candle Cove ran only for a couple months in 71, not 72. I was 12. and I watched it a few times with my brother. It was Channel 58, whatever station that was. My mom would let me switch to it after the news. Let me see what I remember. It took place in Candle Cove, and it was about a little girl who imagined herself to be friends with pirates. The pirate ship was called the Laughing Stock, and the pirate Percy wasn't a very good pirate because he got scared too easily. And there was calliope music constantly playing. I don't remember the girl's name. Janice or Jade or something. I think it was Janice. Thank you, Jaren. Memories flooded black when you mentioned the laughing stock in Channel 58. Remember the bow of the ship was a wooden smiling face with the lower jaw submerged. It looked like it was swallowing the sea, and it had that awful Edwin voice and laugh. I especially remember how jarring it was when they switched from the wooden plastic model to the foam puppet version of the head that talked. I remember now too. Do you remember this part, Sky Shale? You have to go inside. Oh, Mike, I got a chill reading that. Yes, I remember. That's what the ship always told Percy when there was a spooky place he had to go in. Like a cave or a dark room where the treasure was. And the camera will push in on Laughingstock's face with each pause. You have to go inside. With his two eyes askew and that flopping foam jaw and the fishing line that opened and closed it. Ugh, it just looks so cheap and awful. You guys remember the villain? He had a face that was just a handlebar mustache above a really tall, narrow teeth. This guy's name is Kevin Hart. I honestly thought the villain was Pirate Percy. I was about 5 when the show was on. Nightmare fuel. That wasn't the villain, the puppet with the mustache. That was the villain's sidekick, Horace Horrible. He had a monocle too, but it was on top of the mustache. I used to think that meant he had only one eye. But yeah, the villain was another marionette, the Skin Taker. Can't believe they let us watch back then. Jesus H. Christ, the Skin Taker. What kind of a kid's show were we watching? I seriously could not look at the screen when the Skin Taker showed up. He just descended out of nowhere on his strings, just a dirty skeleton wearing that brown top hat and cape, and his glass eyes that were too big for his skull. Christ almighty. Wasn't his top hat and cloak all sewn up crazily? Was that supposed to be children's skin? Yeah, I think so. Remember his mouth didn't open and close? His jaw just slid back and forth. I remember the little girl said, "Why does your mouth move like that?" And the Skin Taker didn't look at the girl, but at the camera, and said to grind your skin. I'm so relieved that other people remember this terrible show. I used to have this awful memory, a bad dream I had where the opening jingle ended. This show faded in from black. And all the characters were there, but the camera was just cutting to each of their faces. They were just screaming. And the puppets and the marionettes were flailing spastically and just all screaming. The girl was just moaning and crying like she had just been through hours of this. I woke up so many times from that nightmare. I used to wet the bed when I had it. I don't think that was a dream. I remember that. I remember that was an episode. No, not possible. There was no plot or anything. I mean, literally just standing in place crying and screaming for the whole show. Maybe I'm manufacturing a memory because you said that, but I swear to God I remember seeing what you described. I just screamed. Oh God, yes, the little girl Janice. I remember seeing her shake, and the Skin Taker screaming through his gnashing teeth. His jaw careening so wildly I thought it would come off the wire hinges. Oh boy. I turned it off and it was the last time I watched. I ran to tell my brother and we didn't have the courage to turn it back on. Welcome in. Almost done with the story. I visited my mom at the nursing home. I asked her about when I was little in the early 70s, when I was 8 or 9, and if she remembered a kid's show, Candle Cove. She said she was surprised I could remember that, and I asked why. And she said, "Because I used to think it was so strange that you said, 'I'm going to watch Candle Cove now, Mom.' And then you would just turn the TV to static and just watch dead air for 30 minutes. You had a big imagination with your little pirate show." Welcome. Welcome in, honey. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you, thank you. Let's see, what were you guys up to? And welcome, Bastard Kitties. Welcome, welcome. Snack Attack. That's cute. Thank you, Sharp. Welcome in, welcome in. And Estuco. Oh, and hello, Aegis. It is not tofu in my cup. Thank you for the follow, honey. Thank you. You love creepypasta ASMR? Ah, we kind of just started, so. Yeah, we're doing some regular ASMR, and I was like, yeah, I feel like reading a couple creepypasta stories before I turn in. Yeah, welcome, welcome. Are you guys also doing ASMR? What were you guys up to? If it was tofu, give you initial D vibes. You think I have tofu in my hot chocolate? Come on. But you are the second person to ask if it was tofu. Which makes me concerned that maybe it is tofu. But they're supposed to be marshmallows. They're supposed to be marshmallows, okay? What is wrong with nice, fresh, jiggly marshmallows, huh? I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Okay, just marshmallows. Oh boy, I don't know why my thing gets laggy. It's a little laggy every once in a while. You know what? I can check why. Yeah, I hope you had a good stream. Thanks so much for sharing your community with me. I think it's just Shoost. It just does that sometimes. Not maxed out on anything. Soft singing and humming ASMR. Oh, I'll have to check it out. Oh, hang on, let me drop you a follow. Here we go. I was just doing some like a normal ASMR earlier, so thank you. I don't normally have hot chocolate out, but I don't know, the chat wanted to give me hot chocolate today, I guess. Alright, let's go ahead and read another one. Let's see which one we want to do. Oh, we could read this one. Alright. A little girl sat in her room. Her messy brown hair was put into little pigtails as her hazel eyes stared at the door. She hugged her stuffed giraffe close to her little body and listened closely to the loud yells of her father and mother. Ah, okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Have a good night. I hope you don't fall asleep to this and have nightmares. I never should have had any damn kids, screamed a loud, deep voice. All they do is make messes, complain, and draw on the walls. It was interrupted by the shrill, angry yell of the girl's mother. They're children, David. They don't know any better. Oh, F me, Mary Beth. I don't want to hear your BS excuses. Just about had it with I've had just about enough of them. And what do you plan to do about it? The girl heard loud footsteps coming towards her room, and she hugged her giraffe closer. The door opened violently, and in the doorway stood her large, infuriated, overweight father. In one of his meaty hands, he held a large textbook. David, stop it, screamed her mother. The father ignored his wife's pleading cries. He grabbed the little girl harshly by the collar. She screamed and kicked, trembling in fear. The girl's father held up the textbook. This is for drawing on my effing walls, you little... Oh boy. Years later, the little girl, known as Natalie, was now 9 years old. Going through the stage of puberty, she was naturally a little chubby. Like the usual, she sat in her room watching TV. Dad was ranting on about some economic crap that she could really give less a shit about. She munched on some popcorn. I don't know if I like this one. There's a lot of cursing in this one. Let me find a different one. Let's see. Oh, what about this one? Oh, this one sounds good. You used to have nightmares about one of your supervisors turning into a giant. Oh. Nice. Guys, did you hear that Descendants of a Bookworm is getting another season? And it's being done by WIT, aka the people who did the first season of Attack on Titan. I'm excited. Okay, let's do this one. Do you think we're dead? I gave Eleanor a perplexed look. see your breath, and we're talking right now, so... No, no, she muttered, shivering in the keen wind. Not here. No sense in asking that here. I mean out there. I stared out past the dark sea, reaching to the horizon and likely further still than I could ever conceive of. They say hell is hot, and I sit on the ramshackle heights we fight every day to maintain, the cold clawing at my skin. I truly wish it was. My mother used to say, as long as you tried. Those 5 words hammered strength into my psyche. They once gave meaning in battling hardships and misery. Now, that's a dangerous epithet. You're free to try if so inclined. Just know that none of us will even try to save you when your belly is sliced open and your guts slurped by the creatures that dog this place. We've had our fill of brazen souls out there. They serve to be torn apart in our place. I suppose it's something to be grateful for. The braver you are, the quicker you'll learn. Bravery is as insubstantial as death in this place. I should backtrack. I'm an extremophile. Always have been. After the first time that adrenaline rush flooded my veins, I was hooked. Water sports, base jumping, spelunking, anything you could name, it's probably under my belt. The one activity I've found myself coming back to is mountaineering. Ever since my dad took me up to Mount Snowdon, there's been an inscrutable urge to summit something higher, something steeper and harsher. This leads me to my most recent trip, summiting Monte Rosa's tallest peak, the Dufour Spitz. My climbing partner and good friend Rob climbed it in 2018. We shared plans of a second summit, so I took him up on the offer. I say climbing partner, but with my skill level, I really mean guide. Rob's expertise blows mine out of the water. Nothing much of interest happened on the drive. Long, boring, standard overall. When we arrived, the parking lot serving as our starting point was empty and quiet. Dead still. There was an air of unease lingering about us. Around me, at least. If Rob felt it, he didn't show it. But it was there, and I should have taken it as a warning. That's retrospection for you. Looking up at Monte Rosa made everything seem so insignificant. Its monster of a rock face stood mighty and gazed across the landscape, hands beholden to a molehill in its dominance. God help any who climbs it. Instead, we planned around the Marnelli Coulier, a steep and snow-laden gully. We triple-checked our mandatory gear, ice picks, crampons, ropes, etc., all present. Clear and cold mornings were forecast for the ensuing week. Perfect climbing conditions. Rob's meticulous planning was impressive to say the least. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little envious. The mountain hut alone was a 4-hour climb. Though the terrain was forgiving. Hard-packed snow crackled beneath my crampons, a reassuring sound. Inside was cozy. The walls were insulated well, and the wood stove was stocked with more than enough firewood. Yet, even as the fire roared, a chill crawled up my back, just like the parking lot. We were alone, and a nagging intuition in the back of my mind said that may not be coincidental. "Sure you're ready for tomorrow, mate?" Rob said, glancing over at me from the counter. "Why, yeah, yep, I'm in good hands coming with you. Look, once we're up into the cooler, we're not turning back, so there's no shame in having second thoughts. No, it's not that yeah, I could come back another time, but who knows how long I'd have to wait. Life's hectic, you know. Might be years past till I could try again. Just making sure. Nerves are a dangerous beast up there. Long as you listen to me, you'll be fine. But remember, don't panic. If you're feeling anxious, remind yourself that getting upset won't help your situation." Heat from the waning coals coddled my body. Only embers flickered by the time I began to nod off into a deep, dreamless sleep. We set off at 8 a.m. after having oatmeal and berries. I The first few hours ended up being a tough yomp along the snowfields, skirting round toward the cooler. Azure sky gazed down through the wispy high cirrus. We were about a mile from the gully when the light snowfall started up. Wasn't hugely surprising, being on a mountain and all, but the sky remained clear. If anything, it had grown clearer over the past hour, and still the snow fell regardless. It was such a bizarre sight, I worried I might be getting altitude sickness. As icy pinpricks pelted my skin, the reality of the situation dawned on me. Visibility was dropping by the minute, and within 10, I could scarcely see Rob 20 feet ahead. And then he was gone. I don't mean his silhouette bled away into the whiteout. I mean even his footprints were entirely covered over. I called out to him in a panic, cupping my hands together in a futile attempt to pierce the howling gale. Hoping to catch sight of Rob, I plodded forward another 100 or so yards. Nothing. My next actions I still ruminate over today, forcing me to curse my own cowardice. Even if I was the one who disappeared, I didn't know that at the time. Without Rob to guide me, I thought I was surely going to die. So, I turned back. Following the compass, I made a steady descent, hoping to get back to the hut faster than we'd come up. The fresh dusting of snow made frantic steps a danger, and I slipped several times. After an hour, my view was unchanged, pure whiteness. In my retreat, I'd somehow failed to notice a crucial detail. I wasn't going downhill. It seemed like I was in a flat snowfield. When I turned a full 360 to get my bearings, I understood I was actually facing a gentle incline. A fresh wave of terror crashed down in my mind. I glanced down at the compass, and to my horror, saw its needle replaced by a listless, spinning blur. I tried my best. Mom would have been proud, but the cold wore me down. The snow merciless as it pelted me. My footsteps grew closer and closer together until there were no footsteps at all. I crouched on one knee. I wasn't shivering anymore. Well, I did feel pretty warm. Hot, actually. I went to unzip my coat when a stark patch of line caught my attention. An abandoned tent. Long left to endure the elements, it looked old. My dulling mind didn't catch the oddity, that it wasn't already buried by the snow. Our tent was in Rob's pack, and with him out of the picture, this was my only chance at survival. There were a few small tears in the canvas, but the tent sufficed in its primary purpose. Still, I had no means of warming myself up. Bundled tight in my sleeping bag, I felt the weight of exhaustion settle, and no sooner did my eyelids droop and my eyes roll back. The fact I awoke at all filled me with a sense of relief. Brain still groggy, I sat up and observed the tent's interior. It had fared well in the figurative flashbang of a snowstorm. Something was different. Small tears only looked out onto white, but all was quiet. Never has there been a silent blizzard. Only when a cold shock hit my foot did I notice the mounds of melting slush on the floor. Directly beneath each rip in the tent, I was snowed in. Adrenaline flooded my veins and sent my thoughts into hyperspeed. How long had I been buried? How much oxygen was left in the tent? How deep was I? Don't panic. Freaking out won't help. Took a deep, controlled breath and crawled over to the zipper, hesitating before tugging it open in one swift motion. White fluff poured into the tent, and in a transitory state between dread and understanding, I scrambled backwards in fear of an icy casket. My mind cleared. Logically, if the snow was that powdery, it couldn't be down very deep. Still, the tent sagged, its backbone long since snapped. I dragged myself out and pushed my way through the dampening snow, lugging the pack with all my equipment behind. With the gap closing in on itself behind me, I planted my boots in the snow and stood. I wasn't on Monte Rosa. I wasn't in the Alps. I wasn't even on a mountain at all. Standing near the bottom of a sort of half-cone slope, a The horizon-wide expanse of dark water was the first hint I was somewhere else entirely. I could tell the ocean was a ways down, but only after shuffling down to the edge did I catch a glimpse of the precipice. A rugged ice face plummeting some 400 feet. Vertigo struck instantly, knocking me onto my ass, hands splayed like starfish. Something sticking up near the edge caught my eye. It resembled the curved rails of a pool ladder. If said ladder was poorly made and rickety, was with coarse gray rope tied to each side, graying fibers sequestered by an equally ashen backdrop. A tiny ray of hope beamed somewhere deep inside me. Maybe someone was here. I crawled through the powder and gripped the steel bars. My gloves did nothing against the inexorable chill of wind-beaten metal. Still, desperate curiosity willed my head and shoulders to lean over the precipice. Fixed into the model ice, a vertical tower of crude materials swayed in the ever-present winds, reminding me of a shantytown with its hastily fastened planks and battered metal sheeting. For the life of me, I couldn't fathom what reason any sane person would have to build such a thing. Then again, I'd yet to find anything in this place I could fathom. "Hello?" I called out. The first words out of my mouth since waking up were hoarse and weak, tumbling pathetically down the mismatched scaffolding. There was an immediate response from somewhere below. I couldn't see anyone. There were multiple voices bleeding together into a garbled slur. Relief warped into regret as I remained hunched, frozen, as if I were some frost-caked gargoyle on a forgotten castle. Though my voice barely cut through the winds, I regretted opening my mouth. I didn't quite know why. The frantic shuddering of the platforms as someone clambered up to meet me instilled a deep, imminent foreboding. I somehow hadn't realized before, but the ropes tied around the bars I clasped onto were actually those of a rope ladder. They whipped into the cliffside, heralding the arrival of the figure who had just pushed their way out from under a rotten blue tarp. A disheveled and wild-eyed man pulled his way up the wooden rungs, patchy bundles of matted hair swinging across his face. When he saw me, he paused, wired eyes suddenly morphing into something rabid, before continuing up the ladder with fervor. As if dislocated, his jaw dropped wide open and flopped around on its hinges. I don't know what the expression meant, but suffice to say I was horrified. Those eyes, they betrayed hunger. I flopped onto my back and fumbled with the zipper on my bag, tearing out an ice pick and steeling myself. 2 sets of blackening fingers curled over the rim before me, followed by this bestial vestige of a human climbing up onto the snow in all his wiry might. "Hey, what are you doing there, lad?" I chuckled with transparent unease. He almost looked surprised after I spoke, as if language was a foreign concept to him. He sucked air in through his teeth with a hiss. "Cold, cold, so hungry, you, warm, fresh," he spat in a gravelly voice. I backed up, raising the ice pick clutch tight in both hands. The man went a few uncoordinated steps before lunging out of nowhere and diving on top of me. I yelped in fear, falling backwards and raising the pick horizontal in defense. Spittle sprayed from yellow teeth and gnashing itches from my face. Acting swiftly, I rammed the blunt handle of the pick into his throat, causing him to recoil. Only seconds later, he persisted with all his rage, seeming to shrug off the blow to his jugular as though it were an insect bite. In the scuffle, he managed to grab my right arm and sunk his teeth into my wrist. I screamed and let go of the pick with my right. Instinctively, I swung it in my left, the sharp end sailing true and embedding directly in the side of his neck. Viscous blood exploded all over my face as I wrenched the pick back towards me, tearing the front of his throat open, in a ragged gash. The man shot up straight in response, stumbling uncontrolled back to the edge and dropping limply into the open air. Despite my close call, something else disturbed me. The blood that had poured out onto me was cold, I don't mean lukewarm, cold, if not freezing. No steam rose into the air as one might expect, just curdled and froze onto my clothing. With no other choice, I crept back to the rope ladder and looked down. A ratty woman had just climbed up into view and paused after seeing the man's body supine on the platform. God damn it again. Again, Kurt? She said took me aback, but the bubbling laugh from Kurt was the kicker. The rope practically non-existent. It was alive and laughing. Hey, sorry about him. You can come down. It's safe. I almost joined Kurt in his hysteria. It was such an absurd proposition. Safe? You're dangling off the edge of a fucking cliff. Let me rephrase. Safer. Trust me, you don't want to spend another minute up there. What? Nah, F this. I'm out of here. Are you? Are you really? Take a look around. Where in the name of God do you think you are right now? No idea. But even if my chances are 1 in a million at getting home, I'd rather die out here than stay here. Die out there than stay here. Me too, traveler. Me too. With that, the conversation was over. The woman turned her attention to Kurt. I refused to witness any more of this madness and stormed off back up the slope I'd come down from. After a few steady paces, I stopped dead in my tracks. Something was off. Imperceptible movement in the snowfield, distant thuds growing nearer. I squinted to make anything out, but I didn't need to. There, near the buried tent I'd crawled out of, the falling snow outlined an absence, empty air. A strong gust flung pale dusting off the ground to form a haze, and in it, shape was clear. I couldn't tell you what it was, only what it resembled. Serpentine in form and of vast, simply vast size, it coiled through the haze the way an air bubble darts through the water. 2, maybe 3 sparsely spaced legs jabbed at the ground, leaving clear imprints of whatever this thing was. Scythe-like mandibles sliced through the air towards me. It wasn't a hallucination. I could hear its sharp limbs clacking, feel its heavy steps through the ground, so I reneged on my words and scampered back down to the ladder. Vertigo be damned. I couldn't stand up against whatever the F that thing was. The girl was still tending to the man whose throat I'd torn out and shot a glance over to me. Told you, she said with an ill-fitting smile. Huh? What the F was that? I couldn't see it. Well, I could, but it's fine. It won't come down here. I sank to the floor, if it could even be called that. A sudden wave of despair overtook me. I hadn't the first clue where I was. Something deep in the recesses of my mind. I doubted I was even on Earth anymore. I'm Eleanor, by the way. Shaking, I looked over to her with a grimace, then promptly winced from the pain of freezing wind whistling through my teeth. Nicholas, how are you so nonchalant right now? How long have you been here in this hell? How long? If I know. Time doesn't seem to have a say anymore. Not for me. It's not as if clocks work here. Even if I wanted to know the time, a day could be months, years, and a night could be 5 minutes, or vice versa. There's not many things a man can do when faced with impossibility. Do you deny? To enkindle self-detriment? Or accept and give up so easily? A question of a hopeless fight versus hopeless submission. Look, how about you come down with us and get some shelter? I know it's not optimal, but believe me when I say it's a paradise to living up there. Before, I had Rob to guide me. Whether he's still in the world I knew, or he's here somewhere, I don't know. I should hope he made it out, but the coward in me also hopes to see him in this cursed place, to let him take the lead. And the same coward in me chose to stay with Eleanor, Kurt, and the rest. The rope ladder ran down through every level. A group of us sat on a 9-foot square base of cobbled ply and sheet metal, enclosed by flapping rolls of sun-bleached canvas and tarp. A room by some sliver of a margin. At the time, there were 6 of us. A paler, sharp-faced man with a vaguely Slavic-tinged accent introduced himself as Alexei and spoke on behalf of Kurt. See, friend, hunger. It breaks down the strongest and weakest man all the same. To eat anything substantial is rare, let alone something warm. Of the remaining 2 were Nia, a tan woman whose dappled skin displayed mild vitiligo, and an older gentleman bearing several tight pink scars over his hands, same for his face. Well, what could be seen of it past a graying beard? He doesn't remember his name. Everyone calls him Yago or Santiago, something Hemingway. Never read his works myself, but as far as wind-beaten fishermen go, Yago certainly looks the part. It took a while of idle chatter for me to finally come around to the question of seeping through my thoughts. So, how do you survive here? 8 words were all it took to derail the conversation, and have them exchange pity glances. Ain't a matter of surviving, son, Yaga rasped. It's a choice between lesser evils. I was exasperated. What does that even mean, you old? Yago's sunken eyes toppled my will, and I trailed off. He huffed, more with fatigue than frustration. Try as you might. Can't die in this place. I went to bite back, but swallowed my words as I remembered Kurt. He laid beside us under the dirty sheet. Nia must have got on because she reached over and tugged the fabric down to reveal Kurt's injury. Now his ruined throat was filled with what looked to be ice. Only the ice looked tainted, putrid almost, with salomycelia exploding within. Crimson tributaries forced their way through the frost, up to the left, down on the right. Tingling dread crept in a similar manner, up my spine and neck and flowing back down through my chest. If this was reality now, then, well, I don't effing know. What moral is there? What sadistic law of nature permits this? With no other choice, I've learned quickly what to do and what to avoid, either empirically alongside my fellow captives or from their lessons. Every few, actually, just whenever we need to. We set out in the snowfield above in alternating groups of 2 or 3. Oftentimes, the invisible creatures moved to someplace else, leaving the path clear for us. I'd let them use my ice picks, though I made it clear that if it was my turn, I'd always have one in hand. A 3rd member used some kind of socket wrench with a sharp stone driven into the end. The iceberg is possibly the most treacherous ground I've ever had to traverse. Fissures hide under deceptive snow overhangs. One misstep on such unstable ground means falling 100 feet into an icy casket. That wouldn't be so bad, since you could eventually climb your way out. Only the boar worms that tunnel deep inside the ice are quick to snatch up anything coming their way. Worse still, those see-through monsters come and go as they please. I myself have been caught, 8 odd times? The way their mandibles carve and cleave, it must be serrated because it really hurts. It really fucking hurts, and I'd rather not experience the sensation again, but we have to go searching. Have to. Most of the time we find little, usually nothing. A beaten metal sheet or frost-blackened planks are cause for celebration. You see, our quiff-dilling doesn't stay by itself, if only it were that easy. No. The iceberg is sinking constantly, at a glacial rate, into the abyssal brine below. Perpetual snowfall packs itself down into ice over time and roughly maintains the iceberg's elevation. So we have to deconstruct, dismember the lower levels and lug them back to the top, drive old rebar into the cliff with blunt objects, and fasten everything back together. If that's not work enough, the whole iceberg sways imperceptibly over time, tilts forward to precarious angles, resting for a drawn-out solstice before tipping back again. Lose your presence of mind and there's no second chance. Down into the freezing waters you go, torn apart by scaled monsters with their jagged spines and shark's teeth, never blessed with the mercy of death until every cell in your violated body is torn and strewn asunder. Of course, there's a respite when the iceberg leans backwards. It's not something you can get complacent with. Listen to that nagging reminder telling you that at some point you'll be back in the same spot. That's your survival instinct talking, obsolete as it is. And even then, when you feel prepared for anything, this place always has an ace up its sleeve. My first introduction to this concept was, well, it was a while after my arrival. I'd like to embellish the memory, to say we were sitting around a fire, something to that effect. No chance of that. Even behind cover from the wind, it's like the warped physical laws here outright forbid sparks and flames. No, I sat beside Alexei and Nia on a pile of salt-crusted cloths. Without much else to pass the time, we'd engaged in half-hearted games and hobbies. Contrary to his appearance, Yago had a strong singing voice. I'm kind of amazed he can remember any songs. The man can't recall his own name for Pete's sake. Because it's like Alzheimer's. Music's the last to flee memory, or so I've heard. At the time, he stood out on the platform before us. He was singing. I think it was Green, Green Grass of Home. In spite of the choppy gale, his voice carried. It was pleasant. This song in particular rang with poignant nostalgia. Once Yaga finished, he stood with his hands held together. Pretty good, old man, Alexei cheered. I bobbed my head in agreement. That's really something. God knows I wouldn't have pinned you as a singer, said Nia. Yaga chuckled, and for a fleeting moment our troubles were lost. I guess we were too distracted to hear the heavy shuffling from below, because we fell back into silence when an enormous hand wrapped around the edge of the platform. Whatever pulled itself over that edge, it was no creation of a sane god. Gray, blubbery flesh rippled in the wind. A disgusting, bloated thing the size of a tractor tire peered over at us. A head. Scattered perforations in the sides must have been ears, but it had no facial features other than a burbling, X-shaped hole right in the middle. 2, 3 more sets of hands clambered their way up to us, somehow crawling up the ice as if they were geckos. None of these details had a candle to what their overall features resembled. Infants. Elephant-sized hellspawn toddlers crawling on all fours. Laggardly with age, Yago had no chance. Swollen, sticky fingers curled around his body, squeezing them in a grasp even world record strongmen couldn't escape. The awful harmony they made upon claiming their new plaything is etched into my soul, gargling coos of childlike elation, deep in pitch and easily drowning out Yago's hysterics. In the brief period before they left, I watched, oblivious to the screams of Nia and Alexei as the creature shook him around and pulled at his limbs. All I could hear were joints and bones snapping, crackling. The creature holding Yago brought him up to the dribbling hole on its face. The hole dilated, revealing a cavernous passage of dripping flesh, and, with slowness I'm sure was intentional, pushed Yago inside, feet first up to his neck. It closed around him with such pressure I could hear his body breaking, and with crushed lungs he couldn't even scream. And just like that, they descended, leaving us with a cold, empty space shaped like an old man. That's how it goes here. No mercy, just suffering. Endless, indiscriminate suffering. There are a handful of things we can predict, or at the very least expect. It may be logical to melt the ice and drink it. We are, after all, still subject to thirst and hunger, despite needing no food or water to live. Fresh snow from up above is okay, but the ice is bad water. It's rotten, putrefies and becomes teeming with disease. In particular, it hosts some kind of parasite. Drink it, and they'll start breeding inside you, until your organs are rife with them. They sap any moisture they can from your body, drying you into a shriveled husk. Oh, and they're permanent. Literally no way to get them out. I mentioned boreworms before. They're not an issue, most of the time. Sometimes, if you look deep into the ice cliff, you can see them burrowing within. They're lightning fast, though, so I can never get a clear picture of them. From what I can gather, they're long, thick, and leech-like. Their heads open up to reveal strangely mechanical sets of spike balls which spin against each other to grind through the ice. I don't know if they're immune to the parasites. Maybe they're symbiotic, or meet ice, parasite take water. Who knows? This nameless hell has fates aplenty except one: death. I didn't know how it worked at first, but it later on became clear. Months, perhaps years after Yago's abduction, something happened that was gut-wrenching and incredible in equal measure. About 25 feet off from us, the ice began growing outwards. A small mound at first, smelling like rotten pustules. It was when a familiar visage began forming that it clicked, and we built a walkway across. Through some uncouth law of nature, Yaga grew in the form of an ice sculpture. Then, color flushed his skin, starting at his fingertips and slowly spreading. He eventually broke free with a crack and a pop, and fell down into our arms, vacant-eyed and nude, grotesque and wholly unnatural birth. Yaga was never the same after that. The ferrets held their tongues from prying, until the curiosity got too much to bear. Even when we prodded him, asked him about what happened, not one incoherent word spilled from his lips. I shudder to think about what must have happened during his absence, at the hands of those abominations, things that considered him nothing more than a toy to wear out. We've taken to calling them blubbers. I'd say it describes them to a T. With a honed skill at hiding, they're not too hard to avoid. The problem is hearing them approach before they arrive, because if you don't, well, no need to repeat what's written. Past that, a worse revelation came to light. No matter what we do, no matter what happens to us, no matter how violent or peaceful the death, will return, spat right back out into the fray every time, no matter what. The brutality displayed in this realm is nothing to be scoffed at, but at the very least you grow accustomed. Meat and bone lose their sting, and yet there are some things the scars can't toughen you against. One in particular stands out to me. Kurt and I were on a scouting trip. We'd long since made amends by this time and agreed to let bygones be just that. Plodding along the ridge of a snow dune, Kurt cocked his head to look at something, then grabbed my shoulder with a wary firmness. Get down. Now. Both dropped down below cover. I hadn't seen anything, but by now I trusted Kurt's judgment. What? I whispered. What did you see? Caught it in the corner of my eye. Think fuck I ain't look at it. Without thinking, I went to peek over into the open snowfield. Kurt tore me back down by the scruff of my jacket, bringing me to eye level. The hell you doing, you effing oaf? Don't look at it. I stared confused. At what? The uncoupled. Should really get Ellie to go over. Whoa, slow down. Uncoupled? Yeah, don't look too deep into the name. I only seen it in the corner of my vision before. Just a dark shape. Nah, more than that, a stain. A stain on the world. Carefully, I turned my head in the direction he'd seen it, as if I'd be able to see right through the snow. Okay, if you can't look at it, how do you know? Been plenty here before you, mate. Knew one or two of them. This kid called, Kent. Yep, he looked. Said it was hollow. Sort of an empty imprint that might have once been a person. I think he said something along the lines of, it's like if you took someone and stripped everything away except their being. Still not sure what he really meant, but it's enough to know I ain't ever gonna look at it. Well, that and the fact that a moment later he's already 30 feet ahead and stumbling toward it. Pausing to let Kurt's words sink in, I muttered, where is he now? I mean, Yago got taken and he came back. He shook his head, eyes focused on nothing. Couldn't tell you. Only way I even remember him is because of his voice. Screams, god-awful wailing, surfing across the dunes and through the air. In those short times when the wind stumbles, if you just listen. Following his lead, I cocked an ear upwards, frostbitten air slicing past my skin. There was nothing other than the howling gale and the hammering of my heart. However, the longer I listened, I picked up on something distinct from the wind whistling. It did sound like screams. For all I know, Kurt could have just been pulling a sick prank. It's easy to hear things that aren't there, to see what you want to see. Only as I focused, it began to morph into the tone and timbre of a voice I still remembered. One I remembered well. It was the last voice I'd heard before this all happened. Tried not to think about it. Help me. The words hissed straight into my ear. It startled me so bad my legs straightened and I hopped off the ground. No question that time. It was his voice. After that, it wasn't a matter of not thinking about it, but of trying to forget. I must have been in a trance when Kurt spoke up again, snapping his fingers. Hey, you alright? Come on, you should get back. Ain't seen nothing out there worth the risk. Just, if you ever see something in the corner of your eye, something darker than dark, leave. I nodded, grimacing, and we made our way back down to our home. If constant freezing snowfall wasn't enough, the weather knows worse cruelty. For the most part, we have shelter if it starts raining anything untoward. You're caught out in the snowfield, though. Well, let's say you'll be back in a few weeks at best, months or years at worst. That happened one time when Eleanor and Alexei went out scavenging. They must have been on their way back when it started raining these razor-sharp ice shards, finger-sized blades that sliced straight through canvas and embedded deep into wooden platforms. Pain snarls from above his head heralded Alexei's arrival, the rope ladder quivering under his descent. The best way I could describe how he looked was as if a shrapnel grenade had detonated 3 feet in front of him. Well, all around him, really. Deep, weeping gashes littered his body, and strands of flayed skin danced in the wind. It's like looking at a mangled human-shaved version of these cheese strings. You know, the ones you peel strips off of. I wish I could taste one of those again. Anyway, there wasn't much we could do except bandage him up. Even then, it was more so we didn't have to see his injuries. I realized in my stupidity something we'd overlooked. He was alone. Oh shit, Alexei, where's Ellie? Mia whimpered. Did she fall behind? He sat there, lifeless. Put up in the bandages wrapped around his head. He was just too broken to register the question. Alexei, you mother, where is she? With his throat and chest a pulpy mess, Alexei's voice was little more than a grating rattle. Didn't make it. Ankles, Achilles, sliced to shit. She fell down a crack. Nia just stood there, letting her head loll back, and let out a forlorn wail into the sky. One of our transparent despair and indignance at this reprobate world, one I felt all too closely. I remember looking into the ice and seeing torn flesh dangling from a boreworm's mouth. Dull pink smudges carried through the ice as they tunneled. A while later, 2 or 3 weeks at a guess, the rebirth began. It seems that whenever this happens, they aren't too far away. 30 feet tops. I don't want to jinx it. Maybe it's luck. More likely it's just how this place works. I dream sometimes of being reborn from the ice, only to fall out rigid and lifeless. But all we get are failed miscarriages. There's one more thing I find worthy of putting on paper, and that is a storm. It happens at random, according to Kurt. There's no pattern to its visits. I've only witnessed it twice in my time here. The first time it swirled on the distant skyline. I found myself totally wrapped in its magnificence. Terrifying sight to behold. I've been imprisoned in a night that must have lasted at least 2 or 3 years, relatively speaking. And, in accordance with the darkness, the only light being the bruised, moonless firmament, it took a while for the black clouds to register congealing across the waters. Well, it wasn't hard to notice after deep crimson flashes lit up in its bowels, pulsing vermilion glimmers so full of energy I could feel the heat wash over my face from across the waters. That heat grew into a rolling whirlwind as the storm neared. The others were quick to stir from their meager shut-eye when they too felt it. Hell is that? Nia stammered, evidently as clueless as I was. Oh no, no, please God, no, not again, Kurt croaked. Guys, what's happening? What is that out there? I asked. Storms a comin'. We all turned to Yago and sink. Those were the only words he'd spoken since he'd returned from the blubbers, and the mere sound of his voice came as a shock. We pressed for details, but he'd already sunken back to his dead-tongued dejection. Kurt was no help either, and just shivered and stared, paralytic into the churning depths of that storm head. I'll be honest, after the storm drew nearer and pattering rain replaced the snow, a certain excitement overtook me. Inky blots darted across the flashing lights deep in the storm clouds, captivating me in awe. I threw my head back and opened my mouth, allowing the rain to spread its warmth across my tongue. It felt heavenly. The sensation of warmth after so long deprived was like nothing I'd felt before. The euphoria was short-lasting, and concern replaced it as the raindrops turned scalding. When they started to burn and sizzle off my face, I flinched and dove back under cover. Before long, the air was an all-encompassing haze of steam. It's like we'd just entered some malfunctioning steam room. Each breath brought with it a flaring heat that spread from my lungs to the rest of my organs. It's funny, isn't it? In winter, it's cold and dreary, and you wish it was summer instead. Then when summer rolls around, the beating sun and stifling nights make you yearn for the cooler seasons. In that boiling cloud, I begged for the cold to come back. At least we could layer up in coats and pants. There's nothing to be done about the heat. Can't exactly take your skin off when it's too hot. Momentary relief came as cool, trickling streams from above. My relief was sorely misguided when I understood what it was. Meltwater. Minor runnels quickly inflated to a formidable downpour, then into a violent rapid. Nothing could be heard over the roar of rushing water. Blind, breathless, and panicking, I reached out for a hold. My fingers wrapped around metal, a pole driven into the ice. I held on with everything I had. There was a thump beside me, a gurgled shriek. Eleanor. Despite my total exertion to keep from being swept away, I outstretched a hand. Ellie, here, grab my hand, I screamed, a candle in the wind to the rapids. Without delay, I felt her slippery fingers intertwine with my own. I heaved. I felt as if my spine would snap right then and there. I just didn't have the strength. The cold torrent sapped all the excess energy from my muscles. Help me. Following the cry, I barely made out Kurt clinging headlit helplessly to a torn canvas. The steam swallowed him up again, and my stomach nodded when a harsh tearing noise scraped my eardrums. In total, uncut despair, I watched as Kurt plummeted past the platform and out of sight. And as if on cue, Ellie's fingers slipped away. My heart felt as empty as my palm. Her screams faded from my ears, replaced by the incessant torrent. I don't remember the weight following, only the waterfalls suddenly abating, giving way to familiar gray murk hanging in the sky. Kurt and Eleanor were gone. In any other situation, I might have found solace knowing they'd drowned, or perhaps even died on impact with the ocean. Of course, that was out of the question. We were left knowing with absolute certainty that they were going through unimaginable suffering, and far more to come, whether at the hands of unseen leviathans, blubbers, or any other nameless things lurking in the depths. It didn't matter. I just hoped whatever found them was vicious enough to tear them apart, digest their bodies into nothing and allow them to return. A week passed and Eleanor began to regrow. Another 2 weeks later, Kurt appeared. After their rebirth, we all knew better than to prod. Just leave them be. Let them process it. Let them decompress. Loss may seem a trivial affliction without death, but it would be naive to think of loss as a purely physical separation. Yes, you may be taken away, put through unspeakable suffering, and then be reborn. For lack of a better term, those victims lose some integral part of their being, slowly, chipped and whittled away, something so abstract, so important, yet it cannot be grasped by the hand. Once it's gone, there's no reeling it back. And still we went on. We had no choice, and fell back on mindless habits for comfort. In a way, we found paltry success in learning what makes this place tick. Trial and error, however awful those trials may have been. My thoughts lingered on the storm after it happened a second time. We were seasoned, prepared for what was to come. Making sure our cover was uninfiltrated by the elements, we pulled together ropes and twine, tied them around ourselves, and fastened the end to various driven poles and stakes. Maybe I'd been too focused on the storm and its sizzling droplets to catch Yago unfastening himself and standing up. A yell from Alexei brought me to attention, but it was too late. Yago, already several paces away, lumbered toward the edge of the platform. We all thought he'd jump, futile as it was. He didn't. Instead, he threw off his shoes, socks, jacket, pants, everything, till he stood stark naked, exposed to the elements. At this point, we knew better than jumping up to help. We had no fault in this. He'd come back eventually, after all. Yet I could sense something changing. I don't know what, or when it started, but it was there. A shift, a redirection of energy. Yago howled as his skin bubbled and blistered under the storm's ferocity. I think it was when his skin began sloughing off in great swaths that it happened. Without warning, Yago's entire being burst into furious red flame, a sparking vermilion plasma crackling with the intensity of lightning. Eyes watering from the heat, I watched transfixed as his silhouette shrouded in hellfire seemed to be eaten away into nothing. Not a puff of smoke or steam billowed from him. His back-legged shadow disintegrated inch by inch until the last smattering of fragments were burned away entirely. Absolutely nothing remained of Yago once the storm passed. Not one stray hair or nail fragment. Of course, we expected him to grow out from the ice face. Right away, in fact. Nothing happened. We scanned every last inch of cliff. Nothing. It's been hell, I can't even guess how long it's been since then. It's all so effing arbitrary, meaningless. Could be decades, centuries, millennia. My family might be long dead by now. Hell, humanity could have already gone extinct. And in all that time, I've yet to see even a hint of Yago's return. Maybe he's in another worse place. Maybe he's dead. Or maybe he made it back home. Those are the only possibilities I can imagine. And as far as I can see, that's a 2/3 chance of escaping this place, escaping eternity. Next time the storm comes around, I think I'll follow the old man's example. Strip down to my most human form, raw for the whole world to see. And maybe, just maybe, the rain will set me free. Hello, God Papu. Thank you for the follow. And also thank you for the follow. Is it Chrono? Welcome. I am Machi. You came in halfway through. It was a long one. I feel like that took longer than I thought it would. It was supposed to be 25 minutes. That did not feel like 25 minutes. Maybe because the story was also themed around the idea of something never ending. It's good nappers. A nap? You were napping during that? Didn't you have nightmares? Anyways, it is now midnight, and I have to wake up and make walnut tarts in the morning. So I think that's going to be it for today. Should give you guys one more ASMR thing before we leave. I'm going to call this bye time. Okay, let's do one more ASMR trigger. Ada ASMR? You know what, it's just silly enough, I'll do it. Alright, hang on. What trigger should I do it with? Maybe this one? Okay. Oh. I didn't have the echo on the whole time, did I? And nobody told me? Well, I hope I didn't. Alright. I had it on for a while there, though, didn't I? Oops. Ada, ada. sorry. Hada hada. Hada hada. Hada hada. Hada hada. Okay, that's enough. Okay, sorry. Silly. That was nice. What, the hada hada or the very creepy story? Which one? I've had reverb on. Wait for the entire story. Nobody told me. Why didn't any of you tell me? I had reverb on for like 45 minutes. What? No, it was not intentional. It was a complete accident. Oh my god. Well, it was nice. As long as it sounded okay. It probably sounded bad. Well, I guess I'll see the VOD. That was not on purpose at all. Alright, well, that's gonna be it for today. Let me see where I can go today. It was bad. You loved it though. Oh, this was not. Oh god, I have 3 arms. This was not supposed to be a scuffed ASMR today. It's supposed to be a normal ASMR today. Man, guys, I thought I wasn't scuffed for once. Yeah, I got scuffed anyways. Oh well. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. At least the first half. Maybe you didn't enjoy my creepypasta with echo. Definitely not intentional. Alright, let me see who's live. Let's see, let's see. Oh, here, I'll leave this on for you. I don't know where to go today. Maybe I should rate somebody new. Oh, thank you for the follow, Shinzo Kinsuki. Wait. Thank you for the follow, Shinzo Kinsuki. Oh my god. Yeah, let me go to the ASMR category and see if there's somebody new. I typed ASMR and the first stream I am seeing is somebody with the topless meta. Guys, what's happened to Twitch? Alright, I don't think I want to sort through this. Never mind. You would think so. You would think so, but there's clearly a bare almost titty on my screen. Oh, you know someone? Okay, sure. I'll let you recommend somebody. Merperoni. Let me look. Merperoni. Let me take a look. Oh, for some lethal company. Okay, sure. Host a birthday. Sure, we could do that. Ah, he's an artist. Okay, cool. All right, let's go. Let's go. Bye, guys. Yeah, have a good night. Get some rest. Try not to think about the creepy flesh monsters. All right, bye-bye.